Hello from Arizona. My name is Cal. I'm going to welcome you to Tough Trails. Wire this up. We're going to finish wiring up our winch right here like this and this light up here. And let me take a look at that. There's that. There's that. And this. Okay? And that's what we're going to do in this episode. Cool. All right.
All right, guys. So what's going on here is we had audio failure, so I'm having to dub this one right here for you. But basically what we do is we have a piece of steel here, diamond plate in our case, 3/32, 1/8 inch thickness. And we're going to cut out two pieces that are 5 inches long. And then we're going to score some bend marks at about the 1.5 inch mark. And basically all we're doing is we're making a couple of L brackets right here to mount a little bit of a light, a little 14-inch light on top of our bull bar on our winch bumper. And that's really all that we're doing here, okay? And that's what we're showing you, okay? Cool.
All right, so we cut our two pieces, you can see here, and now I've just scored it. This is 1.5 inches in. The total length of this is 3 3/4. That's just because I wanted the position to be elevated a little bit so that I would be able to tilt the light up and down a little bit. I have a little more room to do that, okay? And then here's what we did. After we scored it, we made it into a 90-degree L bracket. Not a big deal, okay? We'll grind her and finish her up. But once that's done, we'll start drilling our holes and figuring out where to mount it at, okay? So I'm gonna take this one out, I'm gonna turn it in the vise, and I'm gonna make my bend, okay? Cool. Okay, so you can see here, I just set the brackets in place because I'm gonna do a mock-up of this, okay? So this is where it mounts at, is right here. So I'm trying to be right in line with that. I'm just positioning it. And here, same thing, this is where it mounts at. So I wanna know where the clearance is at. And if you look in here, you can still see a little bit of, let me get you where you need to be. There we go. See, between the bracket and the light, you can see that hole. That shows me where the hole is on the bumper. So I can just mark that. See it right there? Right there. And I'll mark it. That's where my hole locates at. So I'm going to do those holes first, and then we'll come back and we'll do the holes here and this side to mount here. We'll see where we want it at. Okay, cool. All right, so there you go. We've got that one all mounted up right there. It's not wired in or anything, but it's all mounted. You can see the mounts right there and how we did it. So let me pull back so you can see it. So, okay, and there it is. It's mounted in there. Okay, so that one's mounted. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take one of these lights right here, and we're going to put it in the back for reverse light. These are 14-inch lights, but they're actually measuring from the inside of this bracket to the inside of that bracket 13.25 inches, if that's critical for you. So that's what that is. Okay, so we're going to move to the back. I think I'm going to remove the back bumper, and I'm going to try to mount this other one from the top. Okay, all right, let's take a look at that. Okay, so here's our rear bumper. As you can see, here's our light right here. So we're going to take our light, but I'm going to mount the light to where it's sitting up in here, but up towards the top, like that. Sitting back up in here, protected by the bumper, but sitting back up in there like that, okay? So in order to do that, it's just gonna be easier for me to take the bumper off, go put it on a couple of sawhorses, and I'm gonna take the mounts, and I'm probably gonna tack weld them on, unless I wanna drill holes all the way through this and find long bolts, which I don't. So I'm just gonna tack on the mounts, and I'm gonna stick this light on, okay? All right, cool.
All right, so what's happening here is we got the bumper off from the back of the sidekick. We got it up here into a vise. And then you see where we marked our purple lines at there, and that's going to tell us the distance that we need. We followed up with a grinder to grind some of this coating off down to the metal because we're going to weld these mounts on, just little tack welds. It's not very heavy at all. The light's less than a pound. So that's what we're going to do here. So we're positioning our mounts, and then we get the welder and tack them in place. Okay, cool.
All right, so you see them right there. We got them all tacked in right there. See it? Get it in. It's tacked in. Get this one tacked in. You know, amazing welds, of course. And if you want to learn what not to do, this is the place to go. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna scuff that up a little bit and get her done, and put some paint on there and mount it back up. Okay. So anyway, there you go. So your mounts are tacked in there for your light. All right. Cool. Okay. So you can see it there. It's all mounted in place now. See it there? Real nice. Okay. So that's there. That actually looks kind of good. So let me close the tailgate and take a look at that real quick. Yeah, you know what? I think that's going to work. I think it's going to fit in there just real nice. Yeah, very good. Very good. All right, so that's mounted. All right, now we'll see what else we can mount. All right, so since we're going to go with a targa top on this, and I don't want to drill holes in the dash, and I've got this, you can see these purple lines or marks up here, here, and here. I'm going to drill holes, and I'm going to mount the CB up here on top. That's how it's going to go, just like that, okay? Speakers on the bottom, we're going to hear it the best anyway, and we're going to mount it right there, okay? So we're going to drill some holes and mount a CB. All right, cool. Okay, so when we run, we communicate with CB radios because this is a pretty good line of sight form of communication, and in and out of these gullies and washes and riverbeds and mountaintops and valleys and stuff, CB seems to do the best for us. You can't always depend on a cell phone. And, you know, if there's ever some kind of a disaster or something, or, you know, garbage hitting satellites in space, or power outages to where the signals can't be relayed and back and forth, you know, this might be all you got, okay? I know preppers use CBs, and so do I. All right, so anyway, we're gonna take a CB, and it doesn't have to be anything special, okay? This is, I can't believe this is more than maybe 40 bucks. I've had several, I've had this exact model in all mine. We rotate the same one through, and we have zero problem with them. Nice and simple, you know, a positive, a negative, and an antenna. You know, that's it, nice and simple, maybe 40 bucks on Amazon. You know, I'll put links in there. I always put links in there, so, okay? All right, guys, cool. And there you can see that how we did it. If I can, let's do this. Okay, and see here, now you can see how I did it. So they just came in through the top right there, okay? So what I'm gonna do now, if I can do is I'm gonna go ahead and touch them up. There we go. And that'll blend when it dries with everything else, okay? All right, cool. Okay, so in the past, we've had this CB antenna mounted back here, but it was hidden behind the spare tire, because the spare tire used to go here. That's what these are. These are snubs to protect the tailgate from the spare. So what I do not want to do is have to run all this cable and drill holes through this body to get it all the way up to that CB mount up there on the roof. See on the ceiling there, we got that CB mount, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a mount, and that mount is gonna go right up here in the center on the top of this bar right here, and I'm gonna do it that way. And that's how I'll do it. So we're gonna make a mount to mount our antenna right there in the top in the middle, because we're running topless with this right here. So this is Arizona. I just don't get the rain. It just doesn't get that cold where I run at. So I think we're gonna be okay. So I'm gonna put it up there. I'm gonna make it to where I can take it off and replace it or something. If I put a hard top or something on here, or another soft top or something, I'll have a backup place, and that backup position will go right back out here. So if I put a top on it, we can put the CB here if I needed to, okay? All right, so now we're gonna go make us a mount for the CB antenna, cool. Okay, sitting here in the vise, this is the mount for the antenna. So we just made, this is angle iron, 2x2 angle iron, and it's already bent, so I just drilled a hole in it big enough to handle the antenna cable, or the coax cable, the end of it. And then I've grinded this smooth because I'm gonna do some welding. I removed the spare tire, turned this thing around, backed it in, and opened the door, got the welder up in place right now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get up there in the center of that cross member coming across the top there, that support there on the top. And I'm going to grind off some of that paint and some of that coating that's on there, that textured coating. And then I'm going to take and weld that antenna mount right up there on the top, dead center. Okay? All right, cool. All right, if you can see it there. So the antenna mount has been put on there, welded up, and we touched it up. We mounted the antenna on it, and it is straight up and down. I like it. And then from the side view, same thing. Straight up and down, straight up and down. Okay? Look at that bad boy. Okay, so there we go. Cool.
All right, guys, just a quick update for you. We are getting some of the wiring done. Here we are, got all our connections made for our winch up front. Took the cables down up underneath the grill here, and they're coming out from through here and around and up to the battery, and that's where we'll mount them up tomorrow. This is where the remotes go and those kinds of things. Okay? All right, so we're going to continue with our wiring. All right, guys, just wanted to give you some kind of update. All right, there you go. Cool.
So these are switches that we're going to use. These switches right here are going to fit in here pretty good. These covers should just pop out. Some cases you're going to have to cut them out. We're going to try on these. I don't know what I've got to expect. I just wanted to get you a little footage here before I start throwing these in. I get this stuff off of Amazon like everything else. So there's going to be a link to these either in our GeoTracker store at toughtrails.com or in the link in the description. Yeah, there's always links for all the stuff we use somewhere. Okay? All right, cool. You can see that these just snap right out. See it right here? And they'll pop right out. Okay? There we go. All right? Two perfectly cut holes. You don't have to go doing a bunch of crazy stuff to get in there. Okay? And then these right here will slide in perfectly. Okay? They'll be perfect. All right? Cool. All right, now when you buy these switches right here, they're going to come in a kit. I think this kit was a 6-pack kit, so there's 6 of them in there, and then they're going to come with all these wiring leads for different ways to wire your stuff up. You can put everything into sequence. You can go from ignition switch. You can go from direct from the battery. Those kinds of things. So, and it comes with the little covers, if you can see them there. For I'll see if I can get a reflection for you. But these are the little like icons that go on your switch itself. They might sit right here above the light. They'll go right in there, and it might be for, you know, a backup light or a winch or, you know, something like that. So okay, or you can use these right here, which look like they kind of glow in the dark. So, and those will go on there as well, or they have them in writing, the different things that you can have there. Okay, and then up the top, there's like some funny ones. So okay. And then it comes with your little booklet here on figuring out how to, the best way to wire these things up. Okay? So you can see wire method A and B. Okay? Now, I'm a B guy. Okay? Because I sit out there sometimes, I don't need the ignition on, and I don't need to be running the engine to do what I need to do sometimes. Okay? So I'm going to go to the battery kind of guy. So that's how I wire. Okay? All right, cool. Okay, so this is what it'll look like when you've got it. And then all these wires come in the kit. That's what I think is so cool about it. But if you look up here on the top, so that's going to go to your ground. Those black wires are going to go to your ground. Then you're going to drop down to this guy right here. This one right here. This is your battery. This is going to get you power to your switch. And then right here, this is going to get you power to your accessory, your light, your winch, your speakers, whatever it is, to that and to the light to illuminate onto the switch itself. Okay? And in this format, when you turn the key on, nothing happens. This only illuminates and lights up when this is in the on position. This is how I wire them directly to the battery and bypass the accessory and ignition switch, because I'm not always sitting out there with the thing running when I need these things. Okay? All right, cool. All right, so here's one of them right there. So what I did was ended up putting the ground right here and verifying that. Okay? Now I'll run a hot wire all the way up. All right, to the switch. Cool. All right, guys, so this right here is one of those universal trailer light wiring kits that you can buy. And whenever I'm having to wire a vehicle up for lights and accessories and that kind of stuff, winches, whatever, Um, I really just go grab one of these because it's all done. It's got plenty of the wire I need. It's the right gauge that I have, and the right lengths and stuff. And I got different colors that I can use. And this is what I do. Instead of buying, a red roll and a black roll, and it's just a pain. I just grab these. Okay, nice and simple. Chop them up, and there you go. Okay, cool. Okay, so playing with all these wires and stuff. We've got everything kind of figured out what we're going to do and how we're going to route everything and run it, and how we're going to put these switches in and that kind of stuff. So I guess I gotta just hide all these wires now and put my switches back into the dash and keep going on. All right, cool. There's your little update for you. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's powerful. It's significant. It's profound. Yeah, and there you go. Up there you can see where we mounted the CB radio at. So the CB radio is up there, nice and strong. So we're going to go with it that way, save some of the space on the dash. Okay, the wires will run up on the underside of the lid, comes around over the side to the back, and as you can see, they're dropping down through here from the back. Okay, and that's the same with the antenna. Antenna runs across this bar that we made, and that same opening through and underneath the metal target top. Okay, and that's how that all works. All right, cool. All right, guys, just want to thank you for watching this episode and all of our episodes. And we really appreciate you, and we really want you to know that. Without you guys, we're nothing. All right, cool. Thanks, guys.